Yeah.
I mean, you believe this shit?
Yeah, I
do
know.
you?
This next week,
They don't even invite me.
It averages anywhere from $1,000 a month on the low end.
You're breaking up a bit, Rusty.
Keep going, Mr.
Yeah,
Romano.
You're breaking up, Captain.
It's almost 21.
Fucking A.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Rusty. We didn't really understand a lot of that. He's probably got to jump off and then come back on. Maybe his location isn't helping him.
Well, let's see. Okay.
But yeah, you seeing that kitten that
their spacecraft, as well as securing the spacecraft and closing the doors. They have since left the pad, right, Mike?
Absolutely. So only thing that's left is we have a rocket and a spacecraft and 2 human beings sitting on top, getting ready for launch in 31 minutes.
Yeah.
31 minutes.
And so what we expect to hear coming up is just repeated communication checks with Capcom and Houston and with the crew. And also this is an opportunity, right, to discuss any anomalies or resolutions, but we haven't heard anything.
Yes, I think we hopefully got that out of our system earlier, and here we go.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Per step 20, operation 60, blast engine area is clear. Roger.
They just confirmed that that it is just indeed the rocket spacecraft and
Reverend 20-piece in the building. Hello.
And so, yeah, so we'll hear those continued checks.
This isn't the SpaceX.
This is just an opportunity for some status updates if needed, right? This is kind of time that's built in to allow.
I'll turn you down a little bit so you can hear me because it's better.
We're waiting for
this is the ELS or what is it called? The ULA, sorry. United Launch Alliance.
Any anomalies
this is the first manned. I'm sorry.
Arm control, start arm.
It's the first, crewed mission of the Starliner, the spaceship from Boeing. And it was a couple of weeks ago, you might recall, they had a Freon leak or something. And they had to scrub it. That was like a month ago. And this is the flight today. So they're going to fly up to the International Space Station. Polska Bob is here. Hello, Godfather of Ramadi. And doesn't it look like a big penis? It looks penis-y. Oh my God. Somebody should paint it purple and put veins on the side of it. Oh my God. So yeah, this is live from
about the first 2 hours.
Cape Canaveral Space Force Center.
And again, we keep seeing live views of that.
Still the Kennedy Space Center.
Starliner, Commander Butch Wilmore and pilot Sonny Williams.
R180 transducer calibration is complete, and the engine FIB is in a closed condition.
Roger.
So I guess they're going to
29 minutes.
Flight control, start flight control, final prep.
Okay.
Roger.
So they're going to mate up with the dock with the
to test an orbital
with the space station
Another
tomorrow.
The last time people flew to space in an Atlas class rocket was 61 years ago with the end of the Mercury program.
No shit. Wow.
CFT is the final test to certify a second commercial spacecraft to ferry astronauts to and from the space station, which really is a wonderful resource to us. And
I mean, hey, Polska, didn't they just have a few of these laying around? And I guess, hey, we want to do it on the cheap, so we're going to recycle these old rockets. Hey, as long as they work, they're tested and proven. Except apparently they still have a helium leak.
28 minutes, 5 seconds to liftoff. Let's head back over to Brandy and Jim inside Mission Control in Houston.
LCP-82. Go ahead.
Since our LH2 SVB cycle tests are complete.
Flight test
Roger.
Flight Director Mike Lammers is just about to pull the flight control team here in Houston for a go or no-go, verifying that all of Starliner systems are ready for launch today. Everything's looking good at the moment, and Lammers will use this poll to determine his own response to the final go no-go poll by the launch conductor just before liftoff.
Once we do get into the terminal countdown time frame, there are...
Go ahead. Roger, do we have the temperature update complete? Roger, the RP1 temperature update complete.
Roger. Prop 1, initiate fuel fill sequence.
Roger.
Yeah, no wonder. I mean, they have to test everything. Probably triple test it.
And once we're in that terminal countdown time frame,
go ahead.
Yeah, we've been discussing it before the CISA temp. It's a noisy measurement. I'd like to take this to 6. Get a recommendation, probably to 2 disable.
Roger. Convene the anomaly team and provide a recommendation.
We'll go. L minus 27 minutes.
Yep. This is going to be fun.
And the first
LC arm control.
one of the major activities that
Go ahead.
Step 100. Arm hydraulic final preps are complete.
Roger.
Now, what is that gas leaking out? Is that just cooling material, Polska? You know about this stuff. What is
one of
that?
the first activities Mike Lammer's team will be doing is transitioning Starliner from ground power to battery power. That'll come about 18 minutes before launch.
Okay.
We leave it about as late as possible so that the team can launch with those batteries as close to full power as possible.
Good
2 minutes
idea.
Later, with less than 10 minutes to go before liftoff, Starliner's ordnance will be armed, and that activates the critical systems that are needed to detach all the things from Starliner that will ultimately jettison as it climbs to orbit, and if it were needed to abort. And finally, just 1 minute and 15 seconds before launch, they'll work with the crew to activate the launch abort system, which would rocket the crew to safety in the case of an abort, or on the pad, or early in the ascent.
This is likely the
no, it's a trans rocket.
off. So we are going to send you back to the team in Florida to let Megan, Dee, and Mike see us through the rest of the countdown. We'll be back once Starliner is on its way. Go Starliner.
Wouldn't it be funny if they had the rainbow colors on it?
The next generation crew capsule measures 16.5 feet tall with a diameter of 15 feet. That's about the size of a mid-size SUV. It was designed to carry up to 7 astronauts or a mix of crew and cargo for missions to the International Space Station. After today's test flight, NASA will fly crews of 4 or 5 with cargo. Starliner is also reusable up to 10 times.
What you want to do for Polska Bob and the Bears is you want to take away the NASA money and fund that new Bears stadium. They're just going to build it right next to Soldier Field. I mean, what? Just fix up Soldier Field. Jesus. I don't know.
Space station with 4 NASA astronauts, and Boeing will have the option to use Starliner to fly to other space stations and to help build the low Earth economy, low Earth orbit economy.
Hey, Mike, let's squeeze in a social question since we've invited viewers to send them to us. This is from John on YouTube asking, "How did the astronaut train for this mission?" It's actually a question from a 10-year-old named Maddie.
Well, hi Maddie, hi John. Yeah, so we spend a lot of time practicing exactly what's going on today. We sit inside a simulator, which looks and feels like a rocket, and we push all the buttons and switches and look at our data. And sometimes they even give us these things called malfunctions, which something goes wrong, and we have to think our way through it and follow our procedures to have a safe practice mission. And we do that for about a year and a half. In this case, for us, it's a new spacecraft, so it took us 5 years, but it takes us about a year and a half to train for new spacecraft.
Roger, please disable line item 390.
I think Maddie's dad should let her see Apollo 13, which goes into great detail on that. Ash Blackwind is here. There's one woman in there. Yep. 2 astronauts. One's a female. Very accomplished test pilot. I mean, she's the real deal. She's not a diversity hire. She's got thousands of hours in flying jets and test piloting and stuff. So.
Go ahead.
Line item 390 has been disabled.
Roger.
Let's head back over to ULA's Dylan Rice and Boeing's Lauren Brennicke from the ASOC.
Thank you, Megan. So you may have heard just a few minutes ago the team talking about they're actually telling Butch and Sunny once they get up into space that they will need to sync their tablet. Wanted to give a little bit of a perspective on that. Basically, it's just the system clock.
I have to go to YouTube for that.
Think of it it's just like going down to the start menu on Windows and syncing up the clock. It's been, of course, turned off for a little bit, and not connected to internet. So it's just something like you would do at home to re-establish the new time on your microwave. But Dylan, they've also heard about an anomaly on the ULA side. Not a big deal, but let's give them a little bit of perspective on that.
Sure, Lauren. So we had, we did hear a report of a noisy temperature measurement, and this particular measurement is the interstage adapter.
You're
That's the adapter between Atlas and Centaur. And this measurement is something that's automatically disabled when we enter our terminal count at T-4 minutes.
minus
But
22 minutes.
over the past few minutes, we've observed this measurement bouncing around a little bit. So now that the vehicle is fully loaded with propellants and we've been stable for quite a while, this measurement is really not something that we rely heavily on when we're fully tanked and stable. So we're going to go ahead and disable it early rather than waiting for the automatic disable as we approach terminal count. And that just would prevent any what we'd consider to be a nuisance alarm at this point. So nothing major there. It's kind of a standard operating procedure for a noisy.
Yeah, they gave a biography of the female astronaut. She's very, very well trained, well equipped for this. So it's not a diversity hire. No way.
From launch. And I've been thinking a lot about Butch and Sunny going back to the ISS for a third time for both of them. Sunny told us that really the ISS feels like home for them.
Sharzanabel.
They've
Hello.
both spent a good portion of time there. They both spent 6 months in their first trip up and 6 months in their second trip up. So now going back for their third time, they're going to a place that they consider home. If you think about living somewhere for literally a year out of your life, it means a lot to you. It's very special. And Sunny even told us that.
Go ahead.
Is the guy taking a nap? What's he doing?
On RF link.
Roger.
Looks like he's taking a nap.
Sunny even told us that she cried the last time she left the ISS because she thought it would be her last time in space. So you can just imagine how special.
I imagine these astronauts have been up for a long time already.
And they've
been sitting in the damn rocket for a couple hours. So.
Where they're going to be headed to space.
What if you have to pee?
We are coming up on a call for the visors to come down.
Okay.
You're going to hear Capcom tell the crew to pull their visors down.
All right.
And to configure their suit flow.
Oh, okay.
minus 20 minutes.
Starliner, P1, reinitiate AHV charging. Configure suit flow. RLM, verify redline monitor and event table are in the correct configuration for terminal count.
Verified.
RC, verify solar radiation acceptable for launch. Verified.
Okay. Yeah, they got to check everything.
So I saw the crew starting to pull their visors down there.
Look at these people with their cell phones. It's like
airflow through their suit. In case of an emergency, they could pressurize their suits quickly if needed.
I mean, can you imagine
the importance of having everything zipped up and ready to go?
These are
and they really
these are questions that people wonder about. It's like, okay, what if you really got to take a screaming dump? I mean, and you're in this capsule with the other person, and it's got to. Yeah. I wonder if they give them some kind of drugs to clean out their, do the colon blow, a couple days before, so they don't have to poop as much. I imagine they probably do. Yeah.
Switch to channel 1. All personnel and visitors remain in present position until launch. Maintain operational silence in the LCC.
Okay.
So, Lauren, that's kind of
the LC with a terminal count briefing. If a condition exceeds the launch constraint anytime after the terminal count status check, the observer shall announce hold on channel 1, identify their station, and briefly state the reason for the hold.
Okay.
So, Lauren, we just heard a couple of our standard pre-launch announcements. During the countdown, the individual teams, so like think of the Atlas propulsion team and the Centaur propulsion team, are off working on separate nets as they perform their functions. All that work is complete, and so essentially, what that last announcement does is bring the entire team back to the primary command channel, net 1, loop 1, as we call it.
I guess that's Brandon. He'll never be an astronaut because. When he feels the need to take a wicked shit, it's like, I got to take a wicked shit right now. I'm going to stop the truck and take a dump right on the side of the road.
And so the only conversation in the LCC from this point forward is just going to be the working through the launch procedures. There'll be no other ancillary conversation whatsoever.
You got to go.
We'll also be listening to some of those side channels that aren't public on your TV screen right now. So we'll be listening for a few polls. One that's called the Starliner Readiness Poll for terminal count, and that is one of the shorter poles, and it will be coming from the Boeing Mission Control Center, or we call it the BMCC here in Florida.
I mean, I would think they'd have, like, in case they have to abort, for example, and you know, they land somewhere, you know, in the middle of a desert or wherever their designated place is. They got to have food and stuff for a while anyway, right? For survival, I would guess. MREs, maybe. They got some Tang.
SRB ignition enabled. And verify FCO, RCO, and OSM hold fire switches are in the proceed position.
Ready to proceed.
Oh yeah, if you don't,
time verified.
if you don't hear me talk, here's the stream.
And LCP-1.
Got to talk once in a while.
Charging reestablish and at flight mass.
Roger.
Otherwise, you get a banana.
So, Lauren, we're quickly coming to the end now of the launch vehicle pre-launch procedure, and we're just about 7 minutes away from our terminal count status check. But we heard a couple of call-outs there. That one of the range safety representatives activated the SRB ignition enable, so that allows us to fire the SRB ordnance circuits that ignite the SRBs at T0. And those circuits are not enabled till.
I think I told it. Well, I mean, there's a video on my channel where I went to.
16 minutes.
Now I can't remember the name of the town. In Florida, when they were going to launch a couple of years ago, and they had to scrub it. But I was there.
Morel Operations Center up the road, and if any of the range safety representatives see an
thank
issue,
you, Titusville,
they can press a button and stop our countdown remotely. So those switches have been enabled as well.
All right, you are taking a live look at Atlas V and Starliner stacked on top with astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams inside, ready to go to space. We are just coming up on about 15 minutes from launch. And
yeah, if you've never been down there, I mean, it's you know, it's kind of isolated, right? It's on an island.
Thank you very much, Lauren.
And Island National Wildlife Refuge.
Also polling a go. The NASA operation.
Kind of a fun video, I think, if you want to look it up. It's
his team gave them the go. As far as weather is concerned, you heard it mentioned on the nets. There was an L-30 weather.
We see your CM essential. That's just to do with the internal power transition. No action.
Okay, no action. We got the suit fan DP low. It's back on now.
Okay.
Looking.
No issue there. But again, the weather, 90% go. No concern. We're expected to be go for T0. We are go right now. Green across the board. We do have some high cirrus clouds, as you can see there up in the upper parts of the sky. And you can see the ground winds.
I kind of like the night launches a little better. Those are friggin' cool, man. It lights up the whole west coast or the east coast. Well, not the whole thing, but a lot of it.
LC flight, air to ground 1, ready for comm check with Starliner and channel 1.
Roger. Starliner, LC, comm check on channel 1.
In front of the, whatever the hell they're doing there.
So we got you loud and clear. Looks like we got suit fan. All suit fans failed a warning.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Butch Wilmore.
And I copied your comm check, Starliner. In Capcom, did you catch that message?
And Starliner and LC Capcom A-Firm, we see the messages. We're working more to follow. Stand by.
So they got a warning about something. I didn't quite know what it was.
Butch Wilmore has a warning light on his console. He's talking it over with Capcom.
Okay.
While they do that,
Starliner visors open, please, while we work with suit fans. Visors open.
Oh, okay. So apparently it's some kind of fan problem or something in the spacesuits.
Open their visors.
All right, visors are open.
Okay.
While they work into issue with them.
Houston, but suit fan Bravo went down and switched to Alpha. They had a DP low, and then it, of course, went off. We still show Houston. Power to Alpha is on.
Okay, so it's got backup power. Yeah.
Minus 13 minutes.
There'd be usually redundant power supplies.
We showed the same for your info. We're swapping suit fans back to Bravo. Continue to stand by for us.
Anybody?
Yeah, there's always going to be a backup alpha beta power supply stuff, if not more than that.
So the issue here is a problem with the primary suit fan operation. They got to have that suit fan to keep the air circulating inside their suits.
Yeah.
With
So they
that
don't
having
overheat,
a warning,
right?
they've asked Capcom has asked the astronauts to pop open their visors so they can get some fresh air, and they'll work it into a redundant mode, going into a redundant.
Yeah, imagine if someone farts and we got to test the suit fan. Oops, I just got the cheese. Oops. Now their visors are open so they can smell the love.
As we get under T minus 12 minutes and counting.
Houston, we have a problem. We had a Taco Bell late night special at Taco Bell, and you know, it's
right now.
Oh no! Oh no!
LC flight channel 1.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the condition we're in an LPT condition with both suit fans down. We're trying to get these reactivated.
Okay.
But we're going to proceed.
Roger. So good to start with crew access arm.
Could you imagine?
Roger.
Could you imagine they have to scrub the launch because of the suit fans? Oh my God, that would
suck. The team continuing to work the suit fan issue. Again, just to recap on weather, we're go, and now we're looking to take the next steps. So we'll send it back to Megan, Mike, and
the suit fans.
As you just heard there, 11 minutes to liftoff.
Roger.
From only the 6th time NASA astronauts will launch on a new spacecraft designed for crew. I want to ask you really quick before we toss it over for that terminal count, the final moments of the countdown. How are you guys feeling?
Great.
Feeling great, excited, making sure teams work to troubleshoot the last little bit, and hopefully we'll see liftoff today.
All right,
very excited for Butch and Sunny, and as we like to say, go Atlas, go Centaur, go Starliner.
Go Butch and Sunny, that's right. All right, so let's send it over to the ASOC where Lauren and Dylan will walk us through the final moments of the countdown.
All right, thank you, Megan. So what we are looking for next here is that crew access arm to start making its way back over.
Starliner, on our end, we brought suit fan Bravo back on. It looked good. We need both. We need to prove that A is also there. So we're commanding Alpha on and then off at this time. More to follow.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, we see it. And we're still visors up, so you know.
So evidently, one of the auxiliary or one of the 2 power supplies going to the suit fans isn't working.
Else while they troubleshoot
Flight
that
verify CST 100 on internal power.
Verify.
Starliner.
Joyful Agony, good morning.
Launch.
Morning, Joyful.
Second work.
Starliner on internal power now. The spacecraft is running completely on its own. Ordnance has also been configured for launch.
All right, so we got
the devices that initiate our separation.
Oh, see the arms going.
Bravo suit fan Alpha is also working.
All right, cool.
Condition. And for the crew, you can take visors down.
All right, so they got that problem fixed.
LC copies both.
All right, it's got to feel good to put those visors down now.
Oh, cool. Look at that. The Atlantic Ocean, I assume.
So, Lauren, we were seeing that big visual cue, the crew access arm retracting. It takes about 2 minutes to retract and stow 120 degrees away from Starliner back against the crew access tower. In the event of an emergency, it can be redeployed in less than 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We don't want to see it do that, but we're glad it can if it needs to.
All right.
And we have a couple of polls coming up here in about 2 minutes. The launch vehicle poll, launch vehicle management poll.
And I think they...
Yeah, Lauren, that's right at L-8 minutes. Next door to us in the Mission Director Center, that's going to be the mission management team poll for launch. And at L-7 minutes, terminal count status check down in the LCC.
Traveling to the moon, James.
Chief Launch Director Doug Lebo will poll his team, verify their readiness, and then the launch director next door to us will give him permission to launch today.
LC arm control.
Go ahead.
Crew access arm stowed for launch.
Roger.
Cool. Kind of wonder, there's like tanks of shit like around this thing. What is it? What's in those tanks? I wonder. Do they have to repaint them after every
Everything
launch?
looking good?
All steps are complete prior to status check.
And there's some, I don't know what that is. Steam? Maybe it's the cooling. They're cooling something. And it gets steamy and they vent the steam. They need 2 rockets to
And
scary.
Dylan and I will be a little more quiet as we get closer here to launch so we can
Ooh.
listen into all of the actions as they're happening in real time.
Cool.
Again, just under 7.5
Now,
minutes.
is that big rectangular thing? Is
Starliner
that the
astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams make history
Is that where
as
they
the first crew headed to the International Space Station on Boeing
Yes.
Starliner.
Yes, sweetie. Okay. So is that rectangular thing? Is that where they vent the exhaust gas from the rock? Kind of looks like it could be.
Status check to proceed with terminal count, Atlas system, propulsion,
Go.
hydraulics,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
water,
Go.
sensor systems, propulsion,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
LH2,
Go.
has gas,
Go.
electrical systems, airborne,
Go.
ground,
Go.
facility,
Go.
RFFTS,
Go.
flight control,
Go.
GCQ,
Go.
op support,
Go.
comm,
Go.
umbilicals,
Go.
arm control,
Go.
ECS,
Go.
redline monitor,
Go.
quality,
Go.
op safety manager,
Go.
ULA safety officer,
Go.
vehicle system engineer,
Go.
anomaly chief,
Go.
range coordinator,
Clear to proceed.
flight director,
Houston flight is go.
Starliner,
Starliner, go.
launch director,
You have permission to launch.
proceeding with the count. ALC, verify T0 is set for 16:25:40 Zulu.
Verify.
I can never get enough of this shit. I love it. This is great.
Starliner net is clear.
Thank you, LC. To all of you sitting on console, whether you're in Houston, BMCC, ASOC, Atlas, this is a great day to be proud of your nation. And all of you listening as well, whether you're at Banana Creek or the Causeway or the rooftop of LCC or the ASOC, and other places around our nation, like the Bay Area building and other places where you are viewing what's taking place. Again, for you, it's a great day to be proud of your nation, great day to be proud of Boeing, great day to be proud of ULA and NASA. And we are one nation under God, indivisible. And when we together use the power of that combination, we can do some pretty amazing things. So LC, with that, we are ready to put some fire in this rocket and propel this spacecraft to the International Space Station, where all these fine Americans have designed and have prepared it to be. Calypso, take us to space and back.
Roger, Starliner.
That was pretty cool.
LC flight, Starliner configured for terminal count.
Roger. All steps are complete prior to terminal count.
And with that, we are ready to go to space, Warren.
Hard not to be emotional listening to those words from Butch. I'm sure we'll be playing that speech back for a long time.
T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark.
All this is exciting. I love this stuff.
Launch pad ordnance circuits are now enabled.
Hold. Flight control receive the CCLS, hold it. Approximately T-minus 350.
Kick the tires and light the fires.
All personnel turn to recycle section. Operation 80. LC switch is not ready. Clock stopped at T-minus 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Starliner, you should not hear any vent at this point.
Starliner standing by.
ALC reset countdown clock to T-minus 4 minutes and holding.
Active.
Must have had some problem. Or some issue popped up. So we're holding.
LC Peony 2.
Go ahead.
Sensor tank pressures are stable.
Roger.
LC Peony 1.
Go ahead.
Atlas tank pressures are stable.
Roger. OSM, place SRB ignition SNA switch to disabled position.
SRB ignition disabled.
Uh-oh.
Okay, consoles, step 60, report launch vehicle status. Atlas lead.
Atlas tank pressures and helium bottles stable. Atlas propulsion system stable.
Roger. Centaur lead.
Centaur tank pressures and helium bottles stable. Centaur propulsion system stable. Has gas readings nominal.
Roger. Vehicle electrical.
No, we might need some
VE
jumper
channel
cables. Get out the jumper cables. Might need some juice. No report from the electrical people. Huh. Interesting. God, I hope there isn't a problem.
Avionics system stable.
Roger.
Okay. All right.
And LC can verify no indications of hazards. Flight LC.
LC Starliner systems are stable.
Roger. Starliner, last arm switch to off.
Last arm switches off.
They must have found something a little weird. They're just being careful. That's probably a good thing. Some tank pressure or something wasn't right.
FCS in pre-flight mode, SS VAPs inactive, OCU safe, and EDS in test mode.
Roger. Arm control, deploy the crew access arm.
Roger. Oh, no.
Starliner, proceed with ordnance deactivation.
Oh, damn it. Something fucking happened. Shit. Sounds like they're not going to go.
Ordnance deconfigured. All off.
Roger.
LC.
Go ahead, ALC.
Caltech clocks reset T-minus 4 minutes and holding.
Roger. Flight, verify CST 100 ordnance is safe.
Verified.
Yeah, they got to deactivate all the shit that was going to blow up. Damn it. I don't see the arm being extended, though. So.
Okay, all stations, recycle systems back to T-minus 4 and holding configuration. Hold time occurred at T-minus 3 minutes 50 seconds. Report status at completion.
Mm.
And flight LC?
LC.
CST 100 power to external.
Copy, we'll put it in work.
Something happened. Do you guys catch it? Sounded like something electrical, didn't
electrical.
Go ahead.
Subset Bravo, Atlas LO2, continuing topping.
Roger.
LC Lux 2.
Go ahead.
Substep Golf, Centaur LO2, continuing topping.
I
Roger.
don't know yet, Nightbridge. It sounds like it, but they're not extending the
LC
arm
Field
yet.
2.
But they.
Go ahead.
Centaur LH2, continuing topping.
Roger.
LC
LC.
Peony 1.
Go ahead, Peony 1.
Atlas Pneumatics, pressure stable.
Roger.
Yeah.
LC Peony 2.
Go ahead.
Substep
Damn
Echo
it.
CEC active.
Roger.
And substep Foxtrot sensor pneumatic system stable.
Roger.
LC Prop 1.
Go ahead.
Substep Charlie and substep Delta, Atlas propulsion and hydraulic system stable.
Roger.
Houston, I got to take a dump, so scrub the launch. Damn it.
LC ECS.
Go ahead.
Substep November, ECS set point stable.
Roger.
Damn it. Just 4 minutes. That freaking sucks. Damn it. I guess we'll just listen and see what happens. What happened? So, well, they're they're going to go take the crew out. So, yeah, something bad happened.
LC, this flight control.
Go ahead.
Subset Kilo, flight control ready.
Roger.
I'm sure the astronauts are quite disappointed. That sucks. I didn't catch what the problem was, but they're obviously not going to go. Shit.
If you're just joining us here at Cape Canaveral Space Force
LCR.
Station,
Go ahead. True access arm is deployed.
Roger.
we did have a automatic hold of our ground launch sequencer. It's shortly after we began our terminal count for today's launch attempt. No indication yet as to what caused that hold of the automatic ground launch sequencer. The team is still evaluating data. In the meantime, the team is active recycling the vehicle to a good holding state so that we can prepare for our next steps. But for now,
Roger.
We are holding at T-minus 4 minutes, recycling the vehicle after a hold of our ground launch sequencer shortly after picking up terminal count for today's launch opportunity.
So I guess are they gonna get the astronauts out or what? What's gonna happen? BF 666 BF, yo. That's got to be a little hairy being up that high too, even even if you got the cranes and all that other shit. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of high in the air,
Go ask gas. Substep hotel has gas. Normal scan pattern included cap. Roger.
All right. They're unbuckling. Shit. Light that candle, boys. Yeah, damn it. I wonder if there's
And flight LC.
Maybe it says somewhere what happened.
Channel 1.
Yeah.
Roger. Secure CST-100 prop system. Last valve to remain open.
Flight copies. Probably take us at least 5 minutes here.
Yeah, copy.
We're going to send it over to NASA's Daryl Nail over at Hangar AE for some continuing coverage of our current
FTS
status.
LC.
Daryl?
Thanks, Dylan. And I'm listening to the NASA operations manager's loop.
Recycle status.
Recycle.
Roger. SYS LC.
Yes, LC, GC30 is ready.
Roger.
Nothing on the news yet. So.
As you mentioned, the ULA team now safing the vehicle, making sure all the high energy systems that were prepared to launch are now put into a safe configuration. At 12:21 p.m., roughly T-minus 3 minutes and 39 seconds, we got a hold.
Launch Director, LC Channel 1.
LDM1.
Yes, sir. So we had a hold call at T-minus 3 minutes and 50 seconds by the CCLS launch sequencer. So at this time, we've completed our recycle back to T-minus 4 and holding configuration and ready to proceed with a scrub crew egress operation.
Yeah, roger that. Stand by.
Roger.
Damn it.
There you heard confirmation of the scrub call for this launch attempt today.
Yeah, scrubbed it.
Again, this was the ground launch sequencer, essentially the computer that launches.
Roger.
Somebody didn't upgrade to Windows 10.
This is the computer that is
Okay, all
charged.
personnel going to Operation 85. OSM, LC.
OSM.
Establish the BDA roadblocks and open the flight hazard area.
Roger.
And all personnel on Channel 1 will be starting an approximate 65-minute hold at this time for flight crew egress. All systems maintain T-4 and holding configuration.
The hold time is not relevant at this point. The fact is they're getting it into a state where they can go through and get the crew out of the spacecraft. But I was mentioning the computer. This is the computer that when we go into terminal count, launches the rocket, brings a number of systems and a huge number of operations all at a rapid pace. Something with the GLS, it's not understood at this time what it is, caused the GLS to throw an automatic holdout at T-3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Arm control.
Yeah, per step 40, can you give me that call out on the status of the crew access arm?
Crew access arm deployed and latched. Arm control is terminated, ready for personnel access.
Roger. And FELC?
Go ahead.
Start CAT TVM system monitoring.
Roger.
RLM LC?
RLM on 1.
Disable RLM line items for crew egress per red line report.
Roger. LCFE.
Go ahead.
Jeez, they got a lot of shit stuffed in there. Holy crap.
Roger.
Wow. Look at all that stuff. I told you, just one suitcase, Amy.
The NASA operations manager now conveying to his team that they are looking at possibly a 24-hour turnaround.
Go ahead, flight.
Yeah, CST 100's on ground power.
Roger.
Grinchy is here. Hey.
Of course, there'll be a lot of data to look at, but
and flight LC.
Yeah, I just want to launch some rockets.
LC, go ahead.
Yeah, just looking for your estimate for prop system securing, to support pad entry.
Need 5 more minutes.
Roger. Thank you.
Everything you're hearing now is about getting the crew, which is the primary focus at this moment by the launch team, out of the spacecraft and back on the ground. So configuring the crew access arm, it's locked in. They continue to do the operations, which are in their schedule for a
See
launch
the bird
scrub.
back there? That
Moving
looks like
through
a big
those
bird.
methodically.
Oh, it's Big Bird. Oh my God, look at that. That's a big freaking bird. Jesus. It could be the camera. Who knows? But that looks big. Thought it was almost
The
a
report out that we heard
plane.
by the CGLS was that at the time of the scrub, when the hold was listed, it didn't appear to load into the proper configuration. ULA will work to try to understand
Software.
the cause behind that. They don't know that at this time. They'll be studying the data. NASA's commercial crew team will be right there with them, helping.
Reboot the computer. Maybe it'll.
Throughout this process.
Someone get out the 5 1/4 inch floppy drive reader. Oh my God. You'd probably be surprised that the the old computers and shit they probably have. It's probably not a.
So we can see on the views here inside Hangar AE that they have the crew access arm back locked into the Starliner. You can see that on your screen there.
Mm-hmm. What was all that shit that just flew off? It looked like. What was that? You see that? See, we go back here a little bit.
Roger.
Nation A systems and
FEL.
Readings nominal.
Flight.
Yeah, CST 100's.
Securing the crew access arm, it's locked in. They continue to do the operations, which are in their schedule for a launch scrub, moving through those methodically.
Mhm.
The report out that we heard by the CGLS was that at the time of the scrub, when the hold was listed, it didn't appear to load into the proper configuration. ULA will work to try to understand the cause behind that. They don't know that at this time. They'll be studying the data. NASA's commercial crew team will be right there with them, helping.
Okay.
And assisting.
Did I not see a bunch of shit fly off? Maybe I didn't see it. Maybe I was just imagining it. I guess I just I didn't see it. I don't know. Thought there was a bunch of almost like ice. Looked like it
So
fell
you can
off.
see on the views here inside Hangar AE that they have the crew access arm back locked into the Starliner. You can see that on your screen there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there it is. See that? Yeah, it's like a bunch of ice broke off. Huh. Guess that's maybe when they hit it with the crew thing. Shook the rocket a little bit, maybe. An Inquisition messenger vulture, yeah. Well, they got a lot of big birds in Florida, you know, big, what are those big son of a gun? Sea ospreys or something? Big mother effing, and pelicans are huge. Usually they don't circle around. They look like a buzzard or something like that.
I want to bring in United Launch Alliance commentator Dylan Rice.
System stable.
Pneumatic.
And yeah, Daryl, the team continues to work through the process to establish a stable configuration so that we can start pulling the crew off of the Starliner capsule. Still no update yet in terms of what caused the ground launch sequencer abort, but just like loading the crew, we establish a safe and stable configuration with the launch vehicle before we begin the egress process, and the configurations are very, very, very close to the same. Actually, we'll be maintaining the propellant systems in a topping mode and not changing the state of the Atlas or Centaur.
I guess they're just going to keep topping off the fuel. I don't know what that means.
1 hour process.
Ian Blades is here. Hello, Ian.
From the Starliner capsule.
They scrubbed another one. Son of a bitch.
Teams are continuing to evaluate the data and look into the cause of the ground launch sequencer abort. In the meantime, we will start to see indications that the team is re-entering the pad, and in fact, the direction was just given to allow the blue team back into the pad. So we will start to see that activity now, and teams come back into the pad, back up the tower, and begin the process of opening up Starliner and egressing Butch and Sonny.
Yeah, so that's a good sign there. You mentioned with the blue team coming back to the pad, they are the ones that will pull the crew out of Starliner. We heard that the pad area is cleared for them to come in. It's a good sign. Dylan, what's your time estimation on the team going through the rest of their procedures to make sure that the crew can go ahead and get up the elevator?
Actually, I think that we're there. So it's been just about 20 minutes since the hold was called, and in that 20 minutes time, we've established those configurations. In fact, we don't even let the pad team come back to the fence line until those safe and stable configurations have been established. So, once they, the team will of course be standing by at the fallback area, and they were contacted via radio and told to proceed. Proceed.
They gotta deactivate the splody bits
and right back up to the crew access tower and on up to level 12, where they can begin configuring the white room. So, we are there at this point in terms of being ready to redeploy the environmental seal, which kind of encloses the Starliner door into the white room, and then we'll begin opening up Starliner so that we can egress Butch and Sunny.
Yeah, we can see from this shot here that environmental seal is not on. Of course, this is the configuration right before you move the crew access arm either away or back to the capsule. So you can see the open air between the white room and the crew capsule. That will take the blue team, of course, getting up to the white room to put that environmental seal in place, which they are on the way. I'm monitoring some of the camera feeds. They haven't arrived yet, but they are on their way, as we've heard from the loops. Dylan, just give us an idea of the role the ground launch sequencer plays in the final 10 minutes of terminal count.
So essentially, the launch sequencer is performing all the actions that are occurring during the terminal count. So you will hear our operators provide status at the terminal count, but those operators are not actually performing manual actions. They're just reporting on the actions of the ground launch sequencer. So, for instance, the vehicle propellant tanks will transition from a topping mode into a pressurization mode as they are pressurized to their flight pressure. Once the tanks are pressurized, we'll start to configure the avionics systems as well for launch, and ultimately hand over to from the ground computer to the flight computer, which handles the actual final seconds of the countdown prior to liftoff. But the ground launch sequencer is securing propellant topping. It's beginning the process of pressurizing the vehicle for flight. It will be transitioning the vehicle from the ground electrical systems to the onboard batteries, and enabling the ordnance systems, ultimately leading to the engine ignition sequence once the control has been handed over from the ground computer over to the flight computers.
And you've mentioned just some of the things that GLS does, right? It is a very busy computer in the final 10 minutes, as you mentioned, going through all of these very timely high energy systems that are being configured at the last
real-time clock error. How much you want to bet? Something stupid like
recap,
that.
If you're just joining us, the mission, the NASA Boeing's crew flight test of the Boeing Starliner was scrubbed at 12:21 p.m. Eastern time, when a hold.
So they probably do, more than likely, what they do is a voting system. They have 3 separate sensors on all this shit, and then if you get 2 or 3 of them to agree, then everything's fine. But if you only get 1 to agree, then it's a problem. So it's probably just a sensor, some fuck up like that.
Of Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, who are inside the capsule at the top of this rocket, as you can see here, are safe and are awaiting. There you see a shot of them. There's Sonny on the left.
I mean, it could be something as simple as the timestamp or something on one of the input sensors was wrong or different from the other ones by too much, and it's like, I don't know, that's not good, and they
help them egress.
Something stupid like that,
which essentially means
that'd be my guess.
Of the Starliner capsule,
or an Ethernet cable fell off or something, right? Some goofy shit.
It's a process that requires that team to do some manual work to lock in the crew access arm to the Starliner capsule.
Yeah. Who knows?
And so they will wait.
These things are so complicated.
For those moments to arrive.
That everything's got sensors and redundancy and all kinds of shit. And if you don't get that 3 agreement or 2 out of 3 agreement, they're not going to do it.
And if we've got Lauren Brennicky on, our PAO with the Boeing team. Okay, we just heard a call that the blue team is entering the pad, and I can see them on the closed circuit television. They are in their van, as you can see there, the shot there, arriving back.
Those tanks like liquid natural gas.
Head back up the launch tower and up into the white room.
Pad. Okay, all right.
They will secure the crew access arm to Boeing Starliner. Open up the hatch and get the astronauts out.
It's like, can I get a drink,
Just
please?
prior to this, 20, 30 minutes or so, we've been listening to the ULA team safe the Atlas V vehicle. Basically going through a number of steps to make sure that the tanks for the liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, the RP1 propellant, make sure everything is in a safe configuration before they allowed this crew to get on the pad. And you see the van there, the 321 backing up to the launch tower.
It almost looks like one of those airport shuttles.
Lauren, I want to ask you about, you've spent a lot of time studying the procedures for Starliner. Talk a little bit about the egress and this process that we're getting ready to undergo.
Yeah, Daryl, a lot of what they'll be doing is really what we've watched during this countdown, just in reverse. I'm listening on some of the side channels to the teams talking about going through their checklist. And this is something that we've practiced many, many times in the simulator, and the teams follow along during those sims where a scrub is often the case in some of the different sim scenarios they put together. And so they will go through this checklist that they know very well, where they will go through the everything that it takes to basically get the spacecraft back in the shape that it needs to be in, so that we can turn around and do this again and go for it again. Of course, we have launch windows tomorrow, as well as the 5th and the 6th. We don't yet know how quickly the turnaround would be for this, if it's something we can get back in order for tomorrow, or if we need to wait until the 5th or 6th. But Butch and Sunny are veteran astronauts who are very used to the world of scrubs. During the last scrub, we even talked about how Sunny says that sometimes the scrub just knocks the pressure off a little bit, and they're used to it. So if you've heard Butch's voice on.
So let's look at this for a minute. This is the, let's see, hold on. Anyway, they obviously have to reroute the airliners and shit around, Cape Kennedy here, Cape Canaveral. So I think that's Cape Canaveral. Yeah. Okay. There it is. And it's going to be a no-go zone for airplanes. I don't know how this Southwest guy got through, though. He flew right over it. You ever play with this flight tracker software? This is fun stuff. Just really interesting to look at all the different planes that are out flying around. Orlando is a very busy airport, right? And you can see there's a wide berth around here. So I assume during launch they say no, you can't, like 200 miles or something, whatever the case may be. Let's see what's going on in St. Louis. Oh my God. There's a lot of military shit flying around yesterday. I was watching. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Can we even see the airport today? Where is it? I know it's there, but it's not showing up with a little button. I mean, God. Yeah, I was watching Southwest, especially. There's a lot of Southwest flights that come into St. Louis. I was kind of surprised. I didn't realize there were that many. And let's see if we can get more. Let's see. I guess we can try a different airport here. Yeah, we got some storms. Yeah. Chicago, obviously, is another one that's really busy. But let's see. Can we get the little button thing? No, I guess we can't. But I think it's kind of cool. I kind of enjoy it. All right. Let's go back to this one.
Setting up for that 24-hour turnaround. And there are a number of things that go into that coordination. The first of which would be immediately coordinating with the Space Launch Delta 45, our Eastern Range partner, to let them know that we are intending to utilize that day, which actually has already been scheduled as a backup launch day. So we'll be coordinating that with their teams, and all the support that we get from the SLD 45.
Yeah.
And additionally, we'll be working to establish our systems on Launchpad 41 in a state that is ready for another launch attempt tomorrow. So even though we do still have
So
some
are they
work
at the
to do
top
this
of the
afternoon,
rocket
which
now?
will include detanking Atlas and Centaur.
Detanking.
At the end of the day,
I love the words they use. It's just crazy.
Approximately 4 hours from now, we'll have the vehicle fully detanked, and we'll have the systems turned around and ready for another countdown opportunity tomorrow. So that could take a little bit longer if the anomaly team comes up with some troubleshooting steps that we need to run through, but have not heard anything like that just yet. For now,
Oh, gee, we just needed to reboot the computer. Damn it!
Data. But we're going to proceed as if we're going to make an attempt tomorrow until such time as we learn that wouldn't be possible. But for now, we are proceeding for a launch attempt tomorrow.
Yeah, the great point about the launch attempt is already there and available tomorrow if the NASA, ULA, and Boeing teams decide to take it. It's worth noting that T0 is already set for June 2nd, and it's 12:03 and roughly 07 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Again, 12:03:05 p.m. Eastern Time, as you're looking at the blue team configuring the crew access arm around the Starliner capsule, where inside astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams are inside awaiting to be egressed or pulled out of the capsule. You can see the tethers that the blue team are attached to for safety reasons. They're 212 feet up in the air on level 12. And you see
kind of scary, isn't it?
their tethers are
couldn't perform. That's something nobody wants to try Viagra. Thumper, the sweaty fat guy. Yep, it certainly is NASA. Sounds like everything was working except the damn computer. All the other stuff checked out just fine.
And Daryl, in situations like this, we have the rocket here on Launchpad 41, and that does get most of our attention, but it's easy to sometimes lose track of the fact that we do really have a large network of assets that support missions like this. So for instance, we've heard from the Houston teams. We've got the folks in Houston that will be taking actions as well. We have support from the TDRS satellite network, and
we were just talking about you, Sweaty,
tomorrow. So it really is a large team that supports these missions.
Cost is moving to Hawaii, and he's up in Michigan.
Beyond what you can see.
And we were just saying, Michigan's nice. Get out in the country. It's really nice.
Off the pad that supports all these missions.
Let's watch this. It's
a lot of effort that goes into coordinating all those assets and making sure that everyone is ready for a launch attempt the following day.
Absolutely, Dylan. The number of teams involved, as you mentioned, Space Force, just one of them with responsibility for the range. Of course, your
only good stuff for you, Thumper. Only good stuff.
Great effort there with the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket, Boeing with the Starliner spacecraft, NASA with a commercial crew program, and the engineers and managers who oversee that program to make sure that America has access to one of its most cherished resources, orbiting laboratory 250 miles above the surface of the Earth, the International Space Station, where astronauts there were hoping to get an arrival 24 hours later of this particular capsule. But as Sonny Williams has said at more than a couple of meetings that I've listened to, there's nothing magical about this time or date to launch. Launch when everything is ready, and that is not today.
Everything was ready.
We'll study whether or not that opportunity is tomorrow.
I hear you, man. I
see
understand.
there now the blue team one member on his stomach, making sure to seal up that environmental enclosure there in the White Room.
Okay.
And Lauren, taking this hatch off is a
I guess they
process.
still worry about that.
We saw them secure it, and now they're
not going to the moon or anything. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Like I said earlier, really, it's just doing everything in reverse. And, they had practice doing this
you think?
just a little under a month ago. So they are going through those procedures right now. It's something they know very well. And it just takes a little bit of time to make sure that this is completely closed in. It is obviously very important that we don't get anything from the outside into the spacecraft, keep that a very clean environment. So they'll have that sealed up here shortly, and then we'll start to see them open the hatch to Starliner.
Imagine that hatch is kind of heavy. I wonder how they do that.
One of the benefits
they have a little
because we can call it silver lining from the previous launch
crane or
club is
something?
that all the teams are able to take a moment now and study the data from what was essentially a wet dress that got down to just under 4 minutes. The launch team will do this. They'll look at the data, they'll study and see how everything responded. Starliner and the Boeing team will do the same thing. And of course, on the May 6th attempt, that's when they discovered the helium leak and then studied that issue for a number of days and came up with a plan to make sure that was accounted for should the
I want to see how this comes
Starliner go
off.
to the International Space Station and then need to deorbit. So in this situation, there will also be a benefit to looking at this data, Dylan, and I wonder.
One's a badass. That's why, Thumper.
You've been involved.
He's a real man.
Of those as well.
Who knows? All right. How does this work? Let's see this.
That's true. And, really, we're just going to keep the team focused on the tasks ahead of us. And, right now that is the most important thing. So we're focused on supporting the blue team, the team on the pad, as they get the White Room configured and prepare to egress Sonny and Butch, and then we'll move on to the next step, and we'll proceed methodically until we're we have the vehicle detanked, and in parallel to that, the engineering teams will continue to pour over that data that we collected. Today, and come up with a troubleshooting. And
hey, after we blow this, get this rocket up into space, boys, let's go drink it. Oh shit! All weekend we're going to be looking at this shit.
There's an extensive data review that goes into every bit of data that was collected during that flight. And days like today with the launch scrub is no different. So there's a lot of data collected, a lot of data to review.
That's right, Thumper.
And we'll take advantage of that in order to put ourselves in the best position to continue with an opportunity at the next earliest opportunity when it's right to do.
They must have some kind of fixture that comes out to.
We just heard
do this.
I just heard our team here of commentators, Dylan Rice with United Launch Alliance, Lauren Brennicke with Boeing Starliner, and myself, Daryl Nell, here with NASA, that the White Room is now configured to begin hatch open operations.
All right, cool. Let's see what this
the White Room is now configured.
For
the team that you see in front of you.
It's rigged. It's rigged.
Again, opening the hatch.
Oh, okay. All right. Now we're getting some gear here. What the heck is this? Looks like
if you're just joining us.
What is it? Oh, there's two pieces too. Okay.
At T-minus 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Happened at 12:21 p.m. Eastern Time. We were counting down towards a 12:25 p.m. launch when the ground launch sequencer issued an abort
so what
command
happens here? Okay.
That stopped the launch
something
of the Atlas V rocket and Boeing Starliner spacecraft.
Ooh. He's got a
The reason that this ground computer called it is not known at this time, though ULA is looking at the data and studying that.
Somebody's gonna get fired. Somebody's gonna get fired.
Immediately afterwards, the ULA team began to safe what's called safe the rocket, essentially making sure that
it doesn't
all
go
of those
boom.
high
Yes.
energy systems
they forgot their beer cooler.
are put into a configuration that is safe for people to be out there on the pad, and for the astronauts, Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, to come out of the capsule.
So some kind of air hose and
head back to astronaut crew quarters.
Yeah.
It also signals a time where this
Fucking
team right
A.
here was able to re-enter what's called a blast danger area, or BDA, and that's the area around the pad, because when this rocket is fully tanked, should something happen to it, there's an area in which it is considered dangerous. That rocket has to be put into a safe configuration before they allowed the blue team to come on board. But it took about 20 or 30 minutes, the ULA team working through their procedures.
I was listening to Riggs on
and successfully so, as you can
on
see
Brandon's
now.
stream. I think Riggs is deep into the bottle
Now we
today.
are
It must be his
just,
day off.
watching them as they work, providing you.
Look at that
with the
clamp. I bet it
transparency
costs
on this operation.
$4,000 because reasons. It's government. Oh God. So I still don't quite see the mechanism they need to get this door off. I assume something hooks to those bolty looking things. They bolt something on and lift it off, probably. Excuse me, Captain. Could you flip that latch, please? We can't seem to get the door off. So there's, I'm sure there's a 1,000-page long checklist this guy's pulling out here. Yep. Called it. Called it. Oh, God. Yeah. Run through the checklist. Make sure you got everything. So they're actually using hand tools on this thing. That's interesting. Hey, Thumper, you ought to get a kick out of this. This is kind of fun. But they're going to have to bring something in, some piece of equipment to hook onto that door somehow. They certainly couldn't just lift it, right? It's got to be heavier than that. Oh, maybe they can. We'll find it. There's my checklist. Yep. Go to the page with the pink sticky on it and start that checklist. All right, there you go. Don't forget to initial it. Come on now. I know this is riveting stuff, isn't it? Makes Brandon's stream look exciting. I know. It's crazy. All right, well, let's see what happens here. Guy's playing with his hose over there. Say it. So they're hooking the hose up to this thing. What is it? A air pump or something? Or rubber gloves. All right. Seems like a requirement. Oh, well, wait. There's something. Oh, that's just the door, looks like, that they're fighting with. So where is the contraption to take the door off? NASA's got a chopper in the air. So I assume they got to patrol and make sure that, are these all NASA planes or what is it? No, that isn't. That's not.
You're watching NASA's coverage of the scrub.
Yeah, they're definitely flying around it, for sure.
5 rocket launch scheduled for today at 12:25 p.m. Eastern time. It was scrubbed just 4 minutes before.
Get to the chopper. Do it. There it is. I don't know what this guy's doing. It's like, I'm just going to Bermuda, man. Come on. Yeah, no planes. Oh, there's a few. But yeah, it looks like these guys didn't get the memo. It's like, no launch today. So it's kind of fun. Some of these They let you click on it and see what it is. It's a hamster dam. It's a cargo plane. So they make the planes a little bigger for the big ones. That's a Birmingham to Cancun, so a bunch of British drunk people. For sure, dude. All right, let's get back to the this one. Okay. So did they put something on the door? Is that their check? Yeah, I think they did. All right. So how the fuck does this work? That man's really having trouble with that hose over there. It seems to be taking forever to get that hose hooked up. Do it now. Get on the plane. Get the chopper. Okay. Maybe they should have a better place to put the checklist. Oh, okay. All right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, yeah, that panel came up. Okay. Okay. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. So they removed or dropped that panel off, and now what is going to happen? That man is just having trouble. That hose is not cooperating. Fuck it. I ain't gonna do that no more. Yes, night vision. We've all had trouble with our hoses. Oh my god. All right, so get the
Boeing's
rubber
blue team now working
rubber
on
gloves
the hatch
out. Yeah. All right.
to the Starliner spacecraft. Got one of the panels open. We'll start working to.
So I guess this man has to
Loosen up the
unscrew
boat,
it
so
or
to speak,
something.
and
yeah.
get the hatch opened up and get Sonny and Butch on their way out.
It's like, hurry up, guys! I got to take a shit. We were supposed to be in the space station by now.
We've got Dylan Rice with us here. He is a launch conductor for ULA, not for this mission, but many other missions ULA has launched. And he is our commentator for today with ULA. And as he has said in our coverage, our post-scrub coverage here, that teams are very much focused
I'm kind of wondering how they're keeping track of the tools. You know, FOD,
Sonny and Butch out.
Foreign object debris.
To recap for our audience,
normally they have to check it out and
scrub at T-minus
all that
just under
stuff.
T-minus 4 minutes.
Oh,
moment
some
where
screws, yeah,
the
I think
ground
those.
launch sequencer, the computer that orchestrates the final systems and operations in the terminal count
is that
issued
is
an
that
report.
a calibrated set of dikes there?
Kind of talk me through what you saw as we went through that sequence of events.
Oh, I bet
Sure,
the blue
Daryl.
hose
So,
is to
you know,
excuse me.
I
bet the blue hose is to ventilate the capsule probably,
generate a
so it doesn't get too hot.
You know, that's
I bet that's
when,
it.
When the computer detects
So it's an air conditioning unit
that it did not expect during terminal count. So the computer is really in control of the final 4 minutes of the countdown. Our operators verbalize the status of
okay, so he's doing something with the hose now.
The terminal countdown as
he's handling that hose like a professional.
Script and executes the
what
final steps
are
to
you,
launch the
okay.
rocket. But the computer is really monitoring
Another hand tool.
thousands of parameters and executing commands very, very quickly. And so we still don't have any good clear word yet on
so they probably have a series of bolts that
these kinds of
run to some arms or something that engage something. Right. Obviously, we're going to see here in a minute.
Response to
hopefully.
And so,
look at that.
Really have any
it does just fucking come. It's okay. All right.
System that the issue may have been associated with.
Well, son of a bitch.
It was a computer.
It's a captive door. Oh my god.
Hold that was.
That's cool.
And so our team immediately went into the securing steps to establish a a safe, stable configuration for the vehicle. And we're going to maintain that configuration until we get Butch and Sunny out of Starliner, at which point we'll begin detanking the rocket once we have the blue team and the Starliner crew clear of Launch Complex 41.
And
so
we're
they're putting
another
something
there to getting the crew out of the
I
capsule.
suppose to smooth the edges so they don't trip or something.
As they begin putting
There's another one.
in the
God, and all that shit costs tens of thousands of dollars
safely
at least.
them or have them come out of the capsule carefully. So appreciate the recap there. You mentioned the launch date early on. We don't know when the next launch date will be, but what we do know is we have a backup attempt on Sunday, tomorrow, June 2nd at 12:03 p.m. Eastern Time. That's available if the teams are able to recycle 24 hours and get back out to the pad. That
and figure out what the hell happened. Yeah, that would help too. What exactly? Who fucked up?
Now as Capcom talks to the crew inside, giving them updates essentially to what's happening outside the capsule.
I could just see like Ed Harris, saying,
Yeah,
I want
one other thing.
everybody, whoever worked on that computer, to be in my office in 10 minutes.
Team, which is executing our countdown procedures in the Launch Control Center, as was visible on some of the cameras.
That's a little ramp
really
kind of thing.
On maintaining the configuration of the vehicle. We do have a separate engineering team that is going to be poring over the data.
Are they going to offload all the the baggage and shit, or just the astronauts? I imagine if they're going to go tomorrow, they could leave it.
And that way, that data evaluation does not in any way take away from the focus of our launch team in maintaining a proper and safe configuration of the rocket and of Launch Complex 41 while we have people out there. So
these guys are Boeing guys, apparently.
Dividing and conquering what we have ahead of us.
They have to fly down like from Seattle or something. Maybe they have their own outfit down there. I imagine they do.
And we'll continue to
if they're doing a lot of spaceflight stuff.
Posture with the one team, maintaining control of the vehicle, and that'll be the same team that handles the detanking, while the other team begins that data evaluation.
So they got a little ramp thing.
Works through
there's the hose.
The hold we had today.
There it is again.
Dylan, it is
still fighting with the hose.
Liken it to the same posture that
and there's the astronauts,
engineers who are sitting on console, responsible for the various numerous systems that allow a rocket to launch into space. It's just like.
So, do you suppose they just leave that white room thing all hooked up, or I don't know how it works.
Very much focused on their console.
Do they close the door again?
The data, making sure that this rocket, which is still very much a live rocket.
Damn it! Why can't we have a convertible spacecraft? Oh my God!
Data is coming back. That is all nominal and safe.
Wait, we did. It was Elon Musk's car they sent up.
It can be understated the focus that ULA is putting on that at this moment in time. But again, as you said, a separate team studying the data, because
failure is not an option.
Time is of the essence. So reviewing that data to understand what happened with the ground launch sequencer.
He was really good in that movie.
Whether
that was
or not,
a great flick.
That's something that can be remedied in the next 24 hours. I want to just recap briefly what Sonny Williams said during a recent.
Was it Gary Sinise that his character got the clap or they got the flu or something? He couldn't go up.
Spaceflight is complicated. Every step of the way, we're realizing.
Fallout floppa.
It makes us rethink.
Boeing ain't gonna make it. I don't know. I mean,
we have a capable space.
They made it this far. They've already launched one, or two, or I can't remember.
To find things that'll help us.
But yeah, I would say it seems SpaceX is a little bit more dedicated to
they are an opportunity to do our job.
Success every time. Although if you guys don't remember SpaceX, they had a lot of fuck ups, 10 years ago. Shit was blowing up, stuff wasn't working, but they figured it out.
And we'll be ready.
Now they're fairly reliable as far as I know.
Can we be ready to do our job? That's astronaut Sonny Williams, who you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, is getting ready to come out of.
Let me out of this.
All right, we're going to send it back to the host desk now with Megan, Mike, and Dee.
Yeah, thank you so much, Daryl, Dylan, and Lauren for providing commentary about the hold that was called around T-minus 3 minutes and 50
Yeah,
seconds
they're
to launch.
hopefully they don't lose a tool, because you'd have to go through the entire fucking thing and look for that tool.
And Mike, I just wanted to ask you again. You know Butch and Sunny so well.
Or wait till it gets up in space and it'll float around. Like, oh, here it is. We found that screwdriver.
Of course, this is emotionally disappointing, and I know that Butch and Sunny didn't sound disappointed when we heard them on the loops. And
Adam Bauman says, "Remember the old Ken Mattingly from Apollo 13? Because they're worried about him exposed." Yes, yeah, Gary Sinise got the measles, and then the one guy got the clap. Right? Remember that? He was using the other guy's piss bucket or whatever. Oh yeah.
Scrubbing and then coming back and getting the mission done.
And The Right Stuff was also a really good movie. Wasn't that Harrison that one too?
So much because we're going to
have
a
great
launch in our future. I know we're some disappointment.
What was cool is you got all the other astronauts in there to do all the shit in the
focused on
capsule that they had, the test capsule or the practice capsule. They were in there turning the different buttons on and stuff, and keeping the the B+ voltage at a certain level. That was cool. Fallout Floppa says SpaceX is going the quick. Hold on. Quick and several failure approach for Starship, not the slowest. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, NASA, they work in a snail space. It's been that way except in the '60s, right?
In front of us.
They went pretty fast.
A perfect way to put it.
And they lost some crew on the, what was it, Apollo 1,
but at the same time,
where they learned a valuable lesson, but lost men.
How quickly folks are responding to this.
And of course, the Challenger.
Forward to the next opportunity.
And the other, the one that broke up over Texas. God,
Dee,
Columbia, I believe. Terrible.
Again, from Boeing's perspective, as we wait for Butch and Sunny to come out of the Starliner spacecraft.
Of course, I think it echoes what we've all heard. This is disappointing. We really wanted to see
Apollo 1
liftoff today, but
that was Grissom.
A reminder today, even during this attempt.
Can't remember all their names, but yeah, they basically cooked.
To go right for us to get to
cooked in the capsule. Just awful stuff.
Today, but the good news is we get to try again. So
I mean, this is this is dangerous shit.
On, the scrubbing sequence and the all the things we have to do to try again tomorrow or whenever.
There's some shoes. Okay.
So we're focused and
I guess she needs shoes when she gets out. Here she comes.
A process we've gone through many
Howdy.
simulations.
How you doing?
So again, we get to try to do this again.
Looks like Sunny is out of the spacecraft, and she's going to put some protective boot covers on her.
She's going to put some shoes on, man.
And they'll take her.
I mean, do they have to go and re-wash or recertify the spacesuits and shit? I don't know what the process is.
They're gonna go back to crew quarters at this time and get ready to do it again when the time is right.
And you were there when they returned to crew quarters on May 6th after the first launch attempt. Can you talk to us about their demeanor then?
Yes, they were. You could tell that they had a long day, but they actually had a little bit of a smile on their face, which I was. I don't say I was surprised, but I was glad to see. It made me feel a little bit better about things too, because.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? It happens,
They've had a great attitude during the whole long quarantine period. So hopefully this is a shorter round. And
quarantine,
for the next time. And Dee, you said it right. Practice.
Can I have a drink, please?
Makes us a lot better. And we learned
I have a gin and tonic
about our rocket and our spacecraft today. So the next launch countdown should be that much more smoother, and we're that much more practiced, which is good because Starliner 1's going to be coming, Starliner 2's going to be coming, Starliner 3's going to be coming.
I wonder. That's got to be tough to go to sleep. You're going up in the freaking spaceship. That's pretty exciting stuff.
Was, people might see setbacks and think that they're bad, right? But to him, he always thinks of them as steps forward.
And today, that's definitely a step today was definitely a step forward in that case. But we'll be ready for the next time, and you can see them right now. They obviously are looking good, and they're smiling a little bit.
Spacesuits look more like Star Trek uniforms at this point.
There to help them.
Different color, but
it's a really great team.
And I think a step forward is, I would think that Butch would say a step forward today is this was again another great rehearsal. You know what I mean? And whenever we do try to launch again, I can imagine that things will be faster and smoother.
Yeah, that door looks very complicated. You see all that?
Rehearse because they did have this opportunity today.
That looks pretty hairy.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of stuff.
The commander for Starliner 1, he was in the BMC.
Because obviously he can't be flying it. It can't come off. That'd be a really awful day.
We all got a lot out of today. So again, this is just all helping the next missions be even that much better. And yeah,
I would love to see the 3D mechanical drawing of that. Wouldn't that be fun to look at?
Ready to go down the elevator.
Oh hell yeah!
Back to the crew van and back to crew quarters.
Soyuz 11 was worse than Apollo 1, yeah.
With the pad team members.
Oh, I mean, the Russians had several failures. The one guy, he again burned up into the capsule. I can't remember his name, but
that pad team had left the pad.
Yeah, it's dangerous shit, man.
In those final moments, it was just Bush and
I mean, if you look at
T-minus 3
in
hours
just what 60, 70 years or whatever after the first flight.
And so right after that call,
we got people on the moon. That's pretty fucking amazing. Almost beyond comprehension, if you think about it. Of course, World War II, there were a lot of advancements and what have you. But it's pretty crazy if you think about it. First flight was 1903 was it? And 1968 we're on the moon. It's like Jesus, that's crazy. And probably up until recently, there were people alive that experienced, both. They were there when the Kitty Hawk, and then they were there when the moon landing. It's like Jesus, crazy.
On May 6th, it was kind of late at night. It was well after dark when they went out to the pad, and when we scrubbed the launch. And this time it's in the middle of the day, so they can go back and have a nice dinner and go to bed at a normal time and get up and see if tomorrow is the magic day. We're still
take more of the poop pills, so you
on when the next launch opportunity might be. Or when the next
Adam says, I hope the hatch isn't too well, you just saw how they took it off, right? It's not easy. It doesn't just pop off. You got to unscrew a bunch of crap. So yeah, it's
for folks just joining,
it would be a death trap. I think you couldn't get it off in time.
So there was an automatic hold by the ground launch sequencer at T-minus.
Then again, maybe if there's an emergency,
to launch, so
right?
12:21 p.m.
There could be something if
the ground launch sequencer is essentially
it blows it up or something, or blows
all the systems needed in the
the hatch, so it comes loose easily.
The ULA team will still be looking.
I'm sure they thought about all that. I would hope.
It appears the ground launch sequencer
I assume they have
enter into the right configuration for launch. That is why the automatic hold was triggered at again T-minus 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
So they have to take the gas off or the fuel off of the
As you
thing.
can see on your screen, the next launch opportunity.
And then they have to put it back on for tomorrow. It's crazy.
12:03 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's just an opportunity. Teams will review the data from what happened today to determine whether or not.
She's like, fuck it. I'm going in.
You see Sunny walking
it's like,
across the crew access arm now.
There's a TV show on at 3 o'clock I want to watch, so I'm going.
Our pad team member is helping her to put back on her helmet. The cover.
The visor cover, yes.
Yeah. And that's to make sure it doesn't scratch. Nothing scratches.
Yes, right? It's very frustrating to have a visor that's scratchy and then it's hard to replace. So we protect them carefully, and so they'll be able to make it back to the soup room where the crew will get unsuited. And, the suits will get cleaned and dried.
Night vision goggles. I don't know. That would make sense. Yeah. if there was an emergency, they insert a couple of keys and it blows the thing up, so to get them out.
After Butch and Sunny arrived to crew
I
quarters,
assume.
what happens after that?
Yes, so they arrive at crew quarters. It was kind of funny because I met them right at the Astrovan. We said a few joking words, and then I asked Butch if I could carry his helmet bag, and he said nope. And same with Sunny. They're I would say fiercely independent, but they just say, hey, we're professionals, we got this. So we went up to the suit room where the Boeing and David Clark team, the suit team was there, and they helped the crew get out of their suits safely. You can see it's a little windy, and a blue Sunny's helmet cover's a little bit loose. Hopefully somebody sees it and puts it carefully back on, or we'll have a piece of FOD. Oh, there it is. And so then they get out of their suits, and then they go back to their rooms at the astronaut quarantine facility or crew quarters, and they will get out of their undergarments and take a quick shower, get refreshed, and then find out what the plan is for the next time, whether it's tomorrow or not. And so that's what happened last time, and at this point last time we thought the launch might be the next day also. So they're keeping their optimism right now and keeping options open.
Sure. And so we just saw Butch and Sunny and the pad team members get inside the elevator at level 12, which is the level that allows them access to the Starliner spacecraft.
Yeah.
So now they are making their way down to the base of the crew access tower.
Cool. Well, I don't know where else. Sorry. I know they have to keep talking. I'm not picking on her. Just okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come out of the elevators again.
Me and Brandon are going to breakfast tomorrow.
They have their white booties on there. That's to make sure that any gravel or any small little pieces of dirt or rocks don't get into their fancy boots, and it protects the spacecraft, the Calypso, for the next opportunity.
And so we just saw there that the Astrovan is already at the base of the crew access tower.
Mm-hmm.
So they will get on in there. And then it's a short ride over to astronaut crew quarters, which is basically it's like the whole west wing of the third floor of the operations and checkout building here, right?
Yes, and not only are the flight crew there, but we have the chief astronaut. We have our vehicle integration and test office folks there. So it's there's many rooms at the astronaut crew quarters for sure, and of course the team that makes the meals. They do a fantastic job on feeding us while we're in quarantine. And I think they probably just got word that they're going to have to come up with a dinner for tonight, and they're scrambling like all the rest of us. And I know they're going to do a great job.
Go down to the Winn-Dixie and get some chickens.
I was going to say, I remember specifically Butch and Sunny both saying that they felt like the food at astronaut crew quarters was excellent. So, there's always these silver linings, right? A good meal tonight would do them good, I would assume.
Sure.
Well,
yeah.
To be honest, Butch and Sunny are my heroes, and I consider them national heroes too. And at least we can do is feed them nicely.
Yes.
And so there have still been family members who've been quarantining with them. Will they have some family time? After they debrief and some of the things
family
you already
time.
mentioned.
Yeah, that's a great point. Last time it was kind of late at night, and family time was a little bit hard to come by. But this time, there might be a great opportunity to have the families come by. I think Butch and Sunny are staying in quarantine. The families may have gotten out of quarantine, but we have a nice glass room where Butch and Sunny can sit and talk to their families. We call it BTG, or behind the glass.
Oh. All right, and we see the Astrovan there turning around, driving away now from the crew access tower. Again, a short drive back to crew quarters, about 15-20 minutes. Again, for those just joining us, This was our second attempt.
Yeah.
He's starting to fail.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
German Chihuahua.
So I guess we'll try again tomorrow. See what happens. Maybe it'll happen tomorrow. Same time, roughly. All right. What are these yahoos doing over here? Brandon's driving to St. Louis. Oh my God. Yeah, so we're gonna go over to have breakfast at the Lenny's Cafe, delicious, over in Pontoon Beach, and then we're gonna go over to Cahokia Mounds State Park. Walk around a little bit down there. It's really cool. I can tell you the story tomorrow. There's like 100 or 200,000 Native Americans that lived there at one time, like in the 1400s, something like that. I think the biggest city complex in the Americas.
Wondering if I can get to fucking St. Louis in 3.5 hours. It's only on my clock.
Probably not.
Oh no.
I think I might have another half hour hidden in the 70s. I'm right up against my fucking 70 hours.
Right.
Oh, maybe he won't be around tomorrow.
But my paycheck's gonna be fat.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Kentucky. At land between the lakes. I don't know what fucking mile marker. I'll tell you in a bit.
Oh, that's pretty close though. Let's see, map. Kentucky.
What highway are you on?
Highway 25. I mean 24.
24.
24. Let's see here. Land between the lakes. So he is. Well, he might be able to make it. It's going to be close.
24/69.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got to go through all of southern Illinois. Probably take 55. Well, I guess we'll see. But I mean, if he gets here,
Mile marker 30, so I've got 30 more miles.
30 more miles. Oh no. Okay. Let's see here. Mile marker 30. Oh my God. Let's see, which exit is this? You guys can't see it, but I'm just looking for exits. I don't see it. Oh well, yeah. But yeah, we'll probably do a live stream tomorrow. Well, no, that's right, we can't because because Brandon is in YouTube jail. Forgot about that. But we will be doing something tomorrow for sure. Yeah, he probably will make it. Depends which road he takes. Probably take 24 up to 64. Maybe.
Going over the Tennessee River right now.
Tennessee River and the Mountain Man. Let's see here. Where is that? Oh, it's right there. Okay. Yep. He's in Gilbertville, Kentucky. Staggy's Woozy Cash. Yeah, exactly. I've always wanted to go to land between the lakes. I think that'd be really friggin' cool. One of these days I'll go. Guess it must be a dam on the Tennessee River. Kind of looks like it, yeah.
Coming towards Calvert City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. National Weather Service. trying to decide if I should have a drink or not, because Brandon might get a wild hair. So, oh, we're here now, man. Let's go drink or let's go eat something. Yeah, I like breakfast at Lenny's. That's a good place. Let's see here. What is it doing? Okay. Let's see here. Pan out. Oh, okay. I see where we're at. Yeah. Okay. Oops. It's raining here. Oh no. Okay, yeah. Yeah, a lot of rain right there. So it's gonna be raining the whole way for Mr. Trueblood. So there's no way to get around it. Anyway, I think I might go get a couple of brewskis. All right. Don't forget to join tomorrow for the launch. Hopefully they'll have it, and we'll enjoy it then. All right, see you. Bye.